afternoon to all the mothers watching me on Unimo Universe of Moms page. I hope you see me live. I'll wait for few of you to join in and also give me some comments, some likes, some thumbs ups to understand that my audio is clear, my video is clear, and we can start.
As a spinner, you might need.
I'll wait. I can see a few of you joining in. Hello. Good afternoon, mothers. I'm so happy to see you all. I know now तो आपको टाइम पता चल ही गया है कि मदर्स डे वीक की किक स्टार्ट हो गई है एंड एवरी डे नेहा कम्स इन लाइव विद वन इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सपर्ट जो बहुत सारे मिथ बस्ट करते हैं और बहुत सारा नॉलेज शेयरिंग करते हैं हमारे साथ. तो ऑल द न्यू ममाज आई नो you have sent us so many messages that you're so glad that we are doing an entire series for helping you. I think we should all thank the amazing brand which is our favorite Sebamed because they have launched this initiative in the Mother's Day week to partner motherhood while they're promising health. So promising health and partnering motherhood. So thank you Sebamed. I think this is a great initiative with Unimo Universe of Moms and I can see a lot of you join in. Hello, good afternoon. Please tag your friends, especially जिनके new बॉर्न बेबीज हैं उनके लिए तो बहुत हेल्पफुल लाइव होने वाला है क्योंकि आज की जो कॉन्वर्सेशन है आई थिंक आपने प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में देख ही लिया कि वो तो इंटरेस्टिंग है ही, हमारे गेस्ट भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है बिकॉज अदर देन बीइंग एन अमेजिंग डॉक्टर शी इज ऑल्सो मुंबई मॉम. लॉट ऑफ यू लव हर बिकॉज आप सब उनके पास जाते हैं कंसल्टेशन के लिए एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी टू नो दैट हमारी कुछ दिल्ली मॉम्स भी हमारे आज के एक्सपर्ट को अच्छे से जानती है और जो उनके साथ हम टॉपिक डिस्कस करने वाले हैं दैट्स अ वेरी रेलिवेंट टॉपिक, लेकिन कई बार इसको इग्नोर कर देते हैं. तो आके आइए बात करते हैं इसके बारे में. टुडेज कॉन्वर्सेशन इज ऑल अबाउट डिस्कसिंग हेयर एंड स्कैल्प केयर इन बेबीज एंड फॉर दिस आई हैव द डायनामिक and most loved celebrity Dr. Mama of ours, Dr. Sarita Randige, who's a consultant pediatrician and also a mother. So let's welcome Dr. Sarita. Hello, doctor.
Thanks, Neha.
So,
I'm
doctor,
really happy to be on this platform today, interacting with you. I'm a big fan of you, Neha. And thanks to Sebamed for giving me this platform to interact with all my interesting mommies. I hope I do justice to this particular session.
So I parked one part of your introduction for later because I saw you before the live. And mothers, अगर आप डॉक्टर को देखेंगे यहाँ पे तो मैं आपको एक बहुत शॉकिंग एक नंबर बताने वाली हूँ that she is of course a senior consulting pediatrician but with 24 plus years of experience. Doctor, you look 24. How can you have 24 years of experience?
Thanks for the kind words and description. I think I attribute it to my regular yoga and healthy lifestyle.
Oh, that's amazing. So guys, here is a doctor who practices what she preaches and here she is talking to us about a topic we all want to know more about. And आप लोगों के कुछ questions भी आने लगे हैं mothers, so keep commenting, keep writing your questions because I'll ensure कि live के end में मैं आपके कुछ questions definitely डॉक्टर से पूछूंगी, but आप ही के questions और हमारे जो research team है उनके साथ consult करके we have made some FAQs. I'll try to talk to doctor more about it first and then I'll go to your questions also. So Dr. Sarita, my first question to you is I think जो सबसे बेसिक क्वेश्चन है और शायद आपको सबसे ज्यादा पूछा जाता है, कितना फ्रीक्वेंटली कैन वी वॉश अ बेबीज हेयर और कितना करना चाहिए क्योंकि कोई मेरी फ्रेंड्स है जो बहुत पैरानॉइड है बेबी हेयर को लेके. तो व्हाट इज योर एक्सपर्ट ओपिनियन ऑन दिस?
So I will split this question into two different halves. One is the age of the baby we are dealing with, and second is the environmental conditions that this baby is exposed to. As far as the age of the baby is concerned, as most of us know, the younger the baby, we rarely expose the baby to the external harsh environment. So in those babies, say in the initial few weeks to months, I would advocate just once in a week should be enough. Please remember that regularly washing your child's scalp is going to rob the moisture of your scalp, of the baby's scalp, as a result of which you will be inducing more problems rather than doing good to your baby. Of course, don't go for a hard and fast frequency. Like sometimes if you feel that the child has gone out, see, first and foremost, in the first 40 days of life, most of us, because of the social things, we do not take the baby out other than for the regular vaccination and the doctor pediatrician visits. So in these cases, once should be enough. In the older babies, you can increase it to a couple of times in a week, that is 2 to 3 times. But yes, in the current harsh environment where it is really hot and humid, if you feel that the child's scalp is little grimy and dusty, or you feel that it is dirty, you can increase the frequency according to the need. But yes, don't do it 2 or 3 times in a day, that is too much. So just once in a week initially, increase it to 2 or 3 times as your baby grows older. When you're in a harsh environment like the hot and humid environment that we are facing right now, you can increase it to twice in a week. That would be my take on it.
Okay. I think that was very, very helpful, Doctor. Here, when we talk about, shampooing our baby's hair, or, cleaning the scalp or taking care of the scalp, how choose the right shampoo? There are so many choices in the market today that, some of them, of course, are very, very harmful products. I know, but as mothers, we generally get confused that how to choose the right shampoo, especially when it comes to baby's hair and also, the scalp care, what we're talking about.
Okay, so let me enlighten you with a few tips when you're going in for selection of your shampoo brand. First and foremost, let it be a mild shampoo. It should be fragrance free, because if it is fragrance free, it directly amounts to the fact that it does not have the harsh chemicals. There should be no dyes. Please do not add any additives, because we've seen a lot of people adding a lot of additives to the natural oil that they use to oil their baby's scalp. In addition to it, it should be paraben and sulfate free. And let me harp a little about the pH of the shampoo. Let it be as close as possible to the natural scalp pH. So let me enlighten all the moms on this platform that the pH that we should be dealing with should be 5.5. So slightly acidic pH is the key, between 5 to 6.
Okay, I think mothers, you've got your input. जब प्रोडक्ट को पलट के उसके पीछे चेक करिए, and I'm sure वहाँ पे pH highlighted होता है, and you should know that what are the products which are great for your baby care. Doctor, when we talk about shampooing, साथ में ही जुड़ के query आ जाती है about babies hair combing. तो generally कुछ babies बहुत सारे hair से born भी होते हैं, तो generally mothers hair combing start भी जल्दी कर देती है. तो what is your opinion on it कि कितना frequently कर सकते हो, कर भी सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि यहाँ पर कई बार एक थोड़ा सा soft skin भी होता है, right doctor?
Yes, that soft skin which you're talking about is the anterior fontanelle, जिसको हम लोग traditionally talu बोलते हैं. That is gifted by God, because as you know that the majority of the brain is growing in the first 3 years of life, which we call as the golden years of life. So for having the space in your skull bones, we have something known as sutures, and where all the sutures meet, that particular part which is soft is known as the anterior fontanelle. So it is safe to brush your child's hair. Only thing is, see to it that you use a soft bristle brush or a white tooth comb in kids who have little bigger mane than those who have very sparse hair. So your newborn may be born in different conditions, like the scalp hair may be really sparse as against a baby with good luscious Goldilocks. So depending on that, you use either a soft bristle brush or you can use a white tooth comb. 1 or 2 important points here is, don't keep brushing it very often. I think once in a day should be more than enough. Do not brush your baby's hair when it is wet, because you will tend to damage the hair follicles. In addition to it, if you find the baby's hair entangled, you can definitely detangle it with a white tooth comb.
I think I met someone from the beauty space also a few months back, and she came on our conversation and she spoke the same about adult hair also, that when they are wet, you should not comb them. So I think, yeah, you should.
And just ensure that you pat dry the baby's hair. Don't be very vigorous, and preferably do not use Turkish towels. Use muslin cloths or cotton cloth to just pat dry your hair. The baby's hair is delicate. You can do damage to it by using these kind of harsh clothes as well.
Okay, that was quite useful. So, doctor, we spoke about the right shampoo. We spoke about the comb part of it. However, you also many times I think these newborn babies have nails और कई बार हेयर तो ट्रिमिंग की भी बात आती है, कई बार टर्नश्योरिंग की बात आती है, अलग अलग, बिकॉज वी आर स्टेइंग इन अ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया विच इज सो डाइवर्स एंड रिच इन द कल्चरल थिंग. एवरी कल्चर हैज अ डिफरेंट टाइमलाइन टू फॉलो कि कब मुंडन होना चाहिए, कब टर्नश्योरिंग होनी चाहिए, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दे टेक they decide on it. What is your opinion on it? What are your views primarily? करवाना चाहिए, नहीं करवाना चाहिए? कोई डॉक्टर के perspective से क्या सच है?
Trimming is fine. Tonsuring also, you can follow the local traditional and cultural practices like जैसे मुंडन एक बार होता है, fine. But बार बार मुंडन कराना in a bid to make the sparse hair of the baby thick is too far-fetched. First and foremost, you have to realize that hair growth is a lot of genetic programming. So much so that at 16 to 20 weeks of gestation, your baby starts having the predetermined follicle growth in the womb itself. So this particular baby may come out with sparse hair, but that doesn't mean that the child is going to have this sparse hair at the end of 2 or 3 years. This baby finally is going to reach whatever hair growth it has to have by 2 years. Some of the babies may reach it by 8 months of age. So doing it once in a while is fine, but doing it repeatedly, like patients come to me every 3 months, they are doing mundan in a bid to have good hair, I don't justify that.
My God. Okay. So I think doctor, you touched upon a very good point कि हमारे सारे जो forefathers थे, उनको शकली भी बहुत था. That's why it made everything.
Yeah. So once in a while, you have to also realize that this hair growth that the baby is born with is very different from the adult hair. Initially, you have something known as vellus hair, and that is the baby hair we are talking about, and then that gets replaced by the terminal hair, which is very different in histology as compared to the baby hair.
Oh, okay.
So eventually every baby, because a lot of mothers, they come panicking that I've given birth to a bald child. Is my child going to remain bald? And when they come back for the 6-month vaccination visit, again the child is not having any hair. So they really panic, and then there is societal pressure. Tera bachcha to bald hair. I mean, it is very sad for those mothers. So we have to keep counseling them that don't worry. There are certain conditions which your pediatrician or dermatologist will tell you whether it is abnormal where your child may not have hair, but believe me, 99.5% of babies eventually are going to grow normal hair. So don't stress on this part, moms. I mean, especially the new moms who are watching us.
Yeah, I think good tip. I think it comes from a mother also. So I think.
Yeah, my daughter, I mean, she has beautiful hair now, and she was, trust me, bald till 3 years of age. And everyone would, aap to doctor hai aur aapki bachchi ko baal nahi hai. I was like, even I am a human. I also have certain genetic predisposition.
That's a very stupid analogy, however, what they were doing. However, doctors, because you spoke about it and you're talking about your personal experience also, I have twin sons, and when my babies were born, one of them had very heavy curly hair, और वो टॉन्शरिंग के बाद पूरे चले गए और नॉर्मल हो गए. तो वो क्या वापस ही नहीं आते वो वाले हेयर, एंड व्हाई इट इज सो?
Yeah, so this even scientists have not been able to prove, because if you see the growth of hair, a baby may be born with sparse hair, and that same baby may have luscious locks at 2 years of age, as against a baby who has been born with really thick curly hair tends to have sparse hair. So this is really very variable, and you have to accept the way it is.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful advice. Doctor, हमारी community में, as you know, you're also a member there. A lot of times mothers share pictures of whatever's happening to them. अभी कल ही किसी का हाथ का picture था कि she was having some skin allergy. So we have seen an issue in the community where mothers have been sharing the scalp का photo of babies in past, and which had some crusty, I would say oily patches on the scalp. And one of the doctor mother there wrote that it's a cradle cap issues, if I'm not saying it wrong. So what exactly is that?
Let me just highlight this particular condition. We call it as a cradle cap, and this is essentially a condition known as seborrheic dermatitis. Now there are various postulates as to why this condition occurs. One out of first and foremost, if any of you mommies have babies with cradle cap, please get out of the guilt that it is a hygiene problem. There is absolutely no concept of poor hygiene as far as the reason for this cradle cap is. One of the postulates for the cradle cap is when the baby is delivered and it suddenly there are hormonal changes because this is exposed to maternal hormone. As a result of the sebaceous glands, those are the glands which produce an oily substance known as sebum, go into a over secretion mode and secrete the sebum, which comes as crust and flakes and oily kind of things on the scalp. It is generally pertaining to the anterior fontanelle or the talu or the anterior part of the scalp. But in severe cases, you may even see it on the top of the forehead, and I have seen cases even till the eyelashes. So if it is widespread, please go and seek help with your pediatrician or dermatologist. If it is restricted to the anterior fontanelle area, you can just use traditional oil. That should be a good quality baby oil. Again, the same parameters as I told you for a shampoo. It should be a mild oil, no additives. Just use it about 20 to 25 minutes before you bathe your child. And when you bathe your child, you can just soften it with the shampoo and wash it gently. Realize that in a few weeks to few months, this condition is going to disappear on its own. Unless and until it is spreading, they are very resistant scales and they're just not budging. Only then you can go. And of course, in your routine immunization visit, if you are having any concern, please address it to your pediatrician. They will definitely give you a medicated shampoo or lotion if need be. But generally, it is not required. It goes off on its own.
Okay, that was quite assuring. And as we converse right now, Amrin Shelat is writing that thank you for talking about cradle cap. This is what I wanted to ask, and thank you for saying that we should not feel guilty about the hygiene part of it.
Yeah, because see, there is one more postulate because it is caused by a fungus known as Malassezia furfur, as a result of which a lot of mothers feel that we are not keeping enough amount of hygiene, and that is why the child is having this kind of infection. It is not really an infection. It is more of a dermatitis kind of. It's an inflammatory condition rather than infection per se. So do not feel guilty, please, moms. It can happen to anyone's baby.
Yeah, I think that was a great assurance, doctor. Now my question to you is around dry scalp. Scalp बहुत जल्दी dry हो जाता है. How can we prevent that in babies?
Okay, so a few tips to ensure that your baby's scalp is nurtured well and healthy is regular bathing, as the frequency has already been discussed. Use lukewarm water, not very cold or not very hot water. Use a mild hair cleanser. Use a tear-free shampoo. This shampoo, as I've already told you, should be fragrance-free. It should have a pH. I'm harping on the pH again and again because it is extremely important part of your scalp care. Also see to it that you do not expose the child to direct sunlight, direct AC. Also keep the environment free of pollution, especially animal dander and pollen, and do not use harsh products. Regular oiling the scalp also is helpful and beneficial to the child.
In fact, you read my mind. My next question was around oiling because yesterday we had a session on bathing babies and we were talking about the massage, and oil plays a very critical role before bathing babies, especially in our country. So what exactly is your opinion? You just said that it's okay to head massage the baby.
See, the way we love our chumpies, so do babies, right? So I am a big, there are a lot of mixed opinions on this particular thing. Some people say, bilkul oil mat karo, bilkul massage mat karo, but I don't think that is right because I feel that oiling, our traditional medicine, does help a lot in nurturing babies. So how does oil actually help your scalp? One is by stimulating your hair follicle growth. Also, you have to realize that the scalp has its own barrier function and a defense mechanism, and oiling the scalp is a natural moisturization technique to the scalp. It also keeps dryness, itchiness, flakiness at bay. Also, in addition, you will definitely ensure that the child's hair has a smoother and silkier texture and also helps in detangling the scalp hair. So I think it is a very good thing to aid the circulation of the scalp, because as you know, if you improve the circulation of a particular part of your body, that part of the body is going to get nurtured well. So definitely, if you're practicing oiling, do it. Only thing is, I would recommend don't keep it for a whole day, especially in our kind of weather, because then your child's scalp may get a little greasy because a lot of dust and grime can get attracted to this oil. So probably half an hour to 1 hour before the bathing schedule, and then wash off the oil.
Okay, ma'am, Charmi Surap has a question. She's asking, how do we know that baby has a sensitive scalp?
Sensitive scalp, you can see one is with the dryness, flakiness, if there is any redness or itchiness The itchiness may not come up in a younger baby because they do not have the motor skills to do that, but the baby may get irritable. So always examine the scalp to look for these conditions. If anything is different from normal, you should show it to your pediatrician.
So, doctor, I think a lot of questions are coming in, and I more or less have completed my part of it. So, I'll try taking up some of the mother's questions. Jamuna has a question. She's saying, my baby is allergic to soap. So, does that say that he is also allergic to shampoo?
Jamuna, I would like to just delve into the fact that what soap are you using? Have you looked into the pH thing of the soap? So, if you're using a mild soap, and still allergy in the sense what exactly is the allergy, we need to see whether the child is suffering from anything known as atopic dermatitis. So allergy is a huge terminology. In babies, allergies can manifest as different skin conditions, so it is extremely important that you should be showing this to your pediatrician, and they will definitely give you a mild product with the right pH, and I think the child should settle with that. And yes, if you use, do not use the soap on the hair, please, mommies. Do use a shampoo for your hair, because the shampoos contain ingredients which are meant for the scalp hair, as against your baby's body. Soaps do not have hair per se. I mean, the baby's skin on the body does not have that kind of hair. So the products that are used for the skin are very different from the shampoos. So very often I've seen that they use one bar and they use the same thing on the scalp, which is not really recommended.
So he has written same that nowadays you get products which can be used on entire body. So
yeah. So those ones which are like tip to toe kind of thing, which is mentioned on it specifically. So any product, but when you are buying, the way Jamuna has commented that her child doesn't seem to be normal and has some kind of rashes, I believe, and that's why she says there's an allergy. So I think she should be changing on to a little milder product and see whether the child persists to have that thing. And of course, moisturization also plays a very important role in these kind of cases. Sometimes there is dryness because of just using soap and then not moisturizing the baby's skin, which can lead to atopic kind of conditions. That is the commonest thing I can think of in her case, at least.
Okay, Seema is saying you talked about oil massage. What kind of oils are safe to use? I've been using olive oil on my baby's scalp. Is it okay?
Honestly speaking, mustard oil and olive oil, latest reports, if you read scientific articles, they do say do not. So I would say stick to a baby oil, and that would be the best.
Just for baby.
Yeah, so I have seen people adding all kinds of herbs and stuff in the oil and onion to improve the hair growth. I don't think you should be doing all that in babies below 2 years of age. It is too harsh for their skin.
I think I remember I met a very renowned founder, of course not an Indian, and she told me one thing. She came to India to do a Facebook live with us, and she told me she's the founder of a very big skincare brand. She told me no skin or hair care can happen in an Indian kitchen, so do not send us all this.
Exactly.
So I think what you're talking about is so true for all of us, and babies are so delicate. You're very right, doctor. However, Doctor, Khushbu is asking that my baby is prone to getting tangles, and what do you suggest in that scenario? Hair tangles.
As I've already delved into this, one is regular oiling, using the apt shampoo, and then detangling the hair when it is not wet with a soft bristle brush or a white tooth comb. In her case, I think a white tooth comb would do the job rather than a soft, and you can also gently detangle the hair with your fingers.
Okay, Rehana is asking, is there any vitamin deficiency that causes hair loss in babies? Like when you talked about bald case, there are some mothers who are facing this.
Yes, folate, biotin, and vitamin B12. Mommies, please ensure that you all have a balanced diet, because finally you have to realize these are important vitamins which should be going via your breast milk to the babies. Also, weaning foods, that is at 6